welcome back to another episode of A Conversation With. Obviously I did a Mother's Day special, so now I'm doing a Father's Day special. No, he's not my father. However, nonetheless, he is one of my older cousins. I'll go as far as saying he's a role model. He is a family man through and through, hard-working, decent, good guy. Please introduce yourself to the audience.
Hi everyone, as Sharon says, I'm one of our older cousins. My name's EMILE. I'm a stand-up dude, I'm a father of three, hard-working man, just here, trying to get through with life. Married man, as you can see. Let's go.
Sweet. So obviously, I did a Mother's Day special. Now it's only right to do a Father's Day special. And also it's only right to get someone who I would look up to if I was a male in the family. Do you know what I mean? Because you just, what's the word? Is it exuberant? Exuberant? I'm trying to use fancy words. You just like, you tick all the boxes of how not only a man should be, but how a father should be. And anyone can be a dad. Anyone can go out there and sow their seeds or whatever. But it takes a man to be a father, and that's what I see with you.
Thank you.
And a few of our other older cousins, obviously your brother included. And I just want to get your perspective on being a black man, having that kind of stereotype of, when people say, oh, I don't have a dad, so he went out and bought milk and didn't come back. Like that running joke. And it's like, even having that running joke, we don't know how that child is actually feeling. And you obviously flipping the stereotype and being there for your family, being married, as you said, you're a father of three. So we're going to unpick all of that. However, firstly, we're going to bring it right back to your own childhood. So how was it? Give us a little snippet of how it was growing up as a black boy growing up.
Well, I can honestly say that I had a good childhood. I had a good upbringing. I had a fantastic, have a fantastic mother.
Yeah.
Who's basically been there for me my whole life. I can't fault her in the slightest. Obviously the areas that I grew up in weren't the best, but we didn't really let that define who we are. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we're upstanding people, we're working class people. You know what I mean? We're good, friendly people. And yeah, like I said, I've got a good family set around me as well. You know what I mean? There was no no drama, no badness, nothing like that.
Yeah.
And it's something that I've always wanted. To pass on to my own children as well. You know what I mean? It's like, well, I've had this upbringing, so I want my children to follow suit as well, and have that kind of mindset. You know what I mean?
And where sorry to cut you, because you say obviously you had that mindset already that you want to pass that greatness or that good energy and stuff to your own children. So when you was younger, you always say you wanted to be a dad and.
Well, I had a lot of dreams and ambitions when I was younger. I wanted to be an actor.
Yeah.
So.
Didn't we all?
It's not easy.
It definitely isn't.
So yeah, it's like I went to one youth theatre back when I was about 13 called CHÉY. I was there for about 5 years and I did various shows with them. I did one called Two. It's a playwright by Jimmy Cartwright, if anybody knows that. I did Romeo and Juliet as well, where I played Benvolio. That was, I enjoyed that one, actually. That was a good one. I did Tom and Viv. I was an extra, I was one of the chorus members of Macbeth. What else did I do? There was various others, so I can't remember all of them, but yeah, there was quite a lot that I did back then. And it was an enjoyable time. You know what I mean? I did actually, I thoroughly enjoyed that. Obviously after stage 2, I went to college and I did performing arts. Did that for 2 years. Came out with a merit graduation. And yeah, just after that, obviously, I was in my late teens, early 20s. That's when life started to kick off. And, You know, it's like opportunities arose, but it's like I didn't really take too well to them. You know, it's like I didn't take it when I should have took it. You know what I mean? And looking back on it now, yeah, I mean there were some missed opportunities, but it is what it is. I mean, you know, I have no regrets. At the end of the day, you know, my life turned out fine as it is. You know what I mean? And I've got no regrets.
That's sweet. Okay, yeah, okay, so then you finished all that. You had a good childhood, upbringing. You've had your first son. Tell us that feeling. He's in the room as well, so you know.
To be fair, it's like when I was with his mother, we never really discussed on having kids.
Okay.
So when she turned around and said that she was pregnant, it was a shock to me because I thought, well, hang on a minute, I thought you want a pill. But to be fair, it's like, I mean, when most dads normally hear that they're going to be a father, I mean, they do kind of flip out and like, oh, you know, I ain't ready for this, I ain't ready for that, and then, you know, the attention changes. But to be fair, when I first found out, I was happy. You know what I mean? I had a smile on my face. I mean, it's like I remember when she told me, and I couldn't stop smiling. You know what I mean? Because I was happy about it, and I just knew. I just knew.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everything's gonna be alright. You know what I mean? And you know, I was looking forward to being a dad. You know what I mean? So I was happy. And then obviously when he came out as well, when he was born, I meant to say, not when he came out. When he was born, and I first had him in my arms, it was honestly the best feeling ever.
Yeah.
For me, I know, like, you know, most parents say that, you know, when I was, but literally it's the best feeling. There's no other feeling like it. You know what I mean? It's like when you got that little child in your hand, and you know he's there looking at you, and you just, you know, that kid's gonna depend on you its entire life. You know what I mean? And you've got to be there. You've got to be that strong person.
Like, even though you was happy, like you saying holding that baby, that obviously that baby's gonna be dependent on you. Is it daunting as well? Like.
Of course it is. I mean, obviously, you know, there's always the thought in your head, like, you know, how am I gonna, you know, be financially stable, and you know, how am I gonna, you know, raise this child to the best of my abilities. But to be fair, there's no manual on how to be a parent. You know what I mean? You just basically make up rules as you go along. You know what I mean? And just try your best. That's all you can do, really. Just try your best.
And what was like your mindset? Because as I said, like the beginning of the conversation is obviously some men, not all, some men obviously find out that they're going to be fathers and go and buy milk and don't come back. What was your mindset? Was it just like you said, you was happy and this is what it was?
I was just really happy. Obviously, well, with my own situation with my own father, I didn't want to turn out like that. You know what I mean? I wanted to be better. And I think that's what all parents need to look at as well. You know what I mean? It's like, if you've had a good upbringing, you want to make sure your kids have a better upbringing. You know what I mean? You always want to strive better for your children. You know what I mean? And I always say to my kids, whatever you do in life, make sure you do it to the best of your ability. You know what I mean? Don't do anything half-heartedly. Make sure you are, you know, fully all in it. Yeah. And it's like, I could have done better at school, but I didn't. So I tell my kids to make sure they do better at school. You know what I mean? To make sure they do a whole lot better. And both my big two, Kai and Ayana, doing absolutely brilliant at school.
So would like to hear.
My eldest one, Kai. He's in his final year, he's doing his exams at the minute, and he's doing absolutely brilliant. And you know what I mean, I can't be more proud of him. You know what I mean?
It's those moments as well, like, as you said, holding them, they're dependent, and then you go through the years and you see them changing as like people and getting their own personalities, and you know, as you said, obviously your, you know, dad wasn't around as much and stuff like that. There's people that go for the same thing. There's a lot of single parents out there, single mothers, and they have sons, they have black sons, and it's like they fall into that trap of their absent dads. What made you decide or even think like, I'm not going down that path? Because sometimes it's hard because people are like, oh well, you know, my upbringing was this and I didn't have a dad for a role model and XYZ, that's why I'm going down the same path as them. But you clearly didn't, and still not that person. So what was that kind of
let me just say,
transition and stuff?
Obviously for fathers who do turn around and say, oh, you know, oh well, because my dad weren't around for me, and you know, it's all I know, that's just a cop out. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, everyone has a choice. you know, to how they want, you know, to what they want to do and to how they want to raise the kids. If you want to be there for your child, then you'll be there for your child regardless.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
100%.
There is no, oh, because my dad weren't there. Nah, let's go. Okay. I swear.
Yeah.
But nah, that's nonsense. You know what I mean? There's no such thing. Me personally, I just wanted to be a good dad to my kids.
Yeah.
And that was it, period. You know what I mean? Regardless of the upbringing I had. You know what I mean? I'd have been a good dad to my kids regardless.
Yeah.
Even if my dad weren't there right from the beginning, you know what I mean? I'd still been a good dad anyway. And even if I did have the best father, I'd have still been a good dad. You know what I mean? That's just me.
Yeah. That's good to hear, man, because as you said, like as I said before, you hear people say, oh well, you know, I didn't know how to be a dad because I didn't have a dad. Or like my mum didn't, like, you know, she did her best and that's all she could do, but kids, especially like their sons, need their dads around. And I'm like, that's an excuse. Like, not two people are the same. You don't have to go down. Wouldn't you rather do something totally different to what your upbringing is so you get the better outcome?
Of course.
Do you know what I mean?
And this is what it's like. Certain baby mothers as well that, you know, I can't really understand. It's like when they purposely stop their kid from, you know, having any contact with their father. It's like, why do that? You know what I mean? You're not punishing the father, you're punishing the child.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? And it's like, I mean, I gotta give a shout out to my son's mum, Kayla, because obviously we split up. And she, you know, she had the option to, you know, be one of them bitches. You know what I mean? Just to stop me from seeing him, but she didn't. She never once stopped me from seeing him. You know what I mean? And, you know, I gotta give my respect to her for that. And we need more women like that.
You have some women, and it's like, well, if you're not with me, then you're not going to see your child. And as you said, you're not hurting only, obviously, the dads who want to be there. You're hurting the child.
Of course.
But then in that same respect, because there was I know a couple boys, I want to say boys, they're not men, that have children and their baby mums, the mother of their children, stop them seeing their kids, and they're like, okay, well, they keep confine me. Okay, well, you know, she's not making me see them, so I'm just going to be like, I'll wait until they're like 16 or whatever, they can confine me. No. Trust me, your kid remembers things when they're like, not probably like as clear, but they remember things at like 3-4 years old. If you're actively trying, your kid can see that you're actively trying. If the mom is trying to turn you against your child, they'll be like, well, wait there a minute, didn't dad come every weekend, or didn't dad come every day, or didn't I see this, that? Then the mother of the child can't turn around and say no, because you are actively trying. Do you know what I mean? And that's what these kind of, all men, especially in the black community, what you need to realise is you need to be actively trying. Don't give up. Yes, it's going to be hard. I've got brothers who's, you know, gone through the same thing, or I've got friends who's gone through the same thing. Don't give up, because your child can only obviously hear what their mothers are saying, but they can also see. If their mom's saying that your dad wasn't there, they can see that you weren't there. Do you know what I mean? As much as they could be lying or exaggerating the truth, as a man, you need to step up to make a baby. You need to step up and be actively trying or actively there. And that's why I wanted you on this podcast, because you are nothing like that. As I said, like, you obviously grew up like single mother, and easily you could have gone the other way. You could have been like, yeah, okay, she's pregnant. I've never had a dad, so to be around, I don't know what I'm doing, so that's all you. Do you know what I mean? But you wasn't, and you're not. And that's what, you know, as my brother behind the camera, like, we need those kind of figures in the family to be like, no, you can be like this, and I want you to be like this. Do you know what I mean? So I went off on a tangent, as always. But then, okay, so you had your first son, and then, you know, you said you split up, and she wasn't, you know, saying that you couldn't see, which is fabulous. Now you're married, you've got 2 more children. How is that dynamic? Because obviously your first daughter. So like, from having a son, obviously most men like, oh, I want a boy. But then like you have like dad girls. How is that dynamic changed? Has it changed you as well? Like, has it softened you up, or?
Well, nah, it's like when Ion was first born, it's like, because you know, like, obviously you got daddy's girls, don't you?
Yeah.
I wanted her to be a daddy's girl.
Okay.
She's not. She's all mom. She knows it. But it's like, it's different with Kai, because obviously with Kai it's like he's a boy, and you know, yeah, I want to be there for him, but it's not the same how it was with Ayana. With Ayana, it was like, well, because she's my girl, you know what I mean, I've got to like put that extra bit of protection on her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you know, that's my princess baby. You know
yeah.
what I mean? So I don't want her to fall down. Because you see all these, like, you know, these loose girls and everything, doing whatever, you know what I mean? You don't want that for your own daughter, you know what I mean? So I felt that I've got to put that extra bit of protection on her, you know what I mean? Because that's my baby, that's my princess. So, yeah, man. Love my baby too.
So then obviously your last son, how was that? Was there any difference with your first son to your second, like the youngest?
Well, obviously with Kingsley now, my little firecracker. It was echoing when Kai was first born.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Obviously that's, well, from my experiences when Kai was born, it's just basically the same with him. You know what I mean? It's like, that's my little boy now, and you know, I want to make sure I raise him the same way I raised Kai. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and it's good obviously the age gap as well, because he's only 3 and Kai's 15.
Yeah.
So it's like, Kai is that role model for him, you know what I mean? I want my little son to have all them good role models in his life, good men in his life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I know Kai is a perfect role model for him.
Yeah.
I mean, Ayana as well, you know what I mean? And so, and I know he will be as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He'll be the man that I want him to be, and also know Kai will be the man that I want him to be, so all's good, man.
So like, give like, I'm not even going to say me, because obviously I'm a woman, but still me, yes. But give like boys out there some tips on, obviously being a parent, there is no manual, as you said. But what are the things that you instill in your children that you could give advice to young men or men who have children and are kind of lost? What would you kind of give them advice on?
Basically, just don't give up. Don't feel that, you know, you can't do something. If someone's telling you that you can't do it and you know you're gonna fail, or just believe in yourself, because God works in mysterious ways. You know what I mean? And God wouldn't give you a child if you knew full well you couldn't, you wouldn't be able to raise it yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The way I see it is everything happens for a reason. If you've got a child in your arms, you want to be the best person that you can be for that child.
Yeah.
Simple as that. You know what I mean? You're not going to fail that child. And it's not really that child's fault that, you know, you're in the situation where how you are.
Yeah.
So don't blame the kid. You know what I mean? Just be the best person you can for that child.
Yeah.
Black people especially.
Yep.
I mean, I don't want to, like, you know,
yeah.
we need to do better. We need to step up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For the younger generation, because it's mad out there. You know what I mean? You've got some of these young kids today, you know what I mean, who've got no manners, no respect, nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, where the hell did we go wrong? Because I remember going on like that when I was little. You know what I mean?
We couldn't.
I'd soon get beaten off my mum if I was like going out doing it.
Because everyone knew everyone, and even if you didn't know everyone, you was kind of like intimidated by the older generation. Like, you would never want to put a foot out because you can see your mum in that woman, or you can see your dad or your granddad in that man. But nowadays, they don't care.
And that's another thing as well. Discipline. You know what I mean? Discipline is a must.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, you know, you get these people that say, oh, you know, you can't do this to your child and you can't do that to you. It's like you can't beat your child. Okay, well, you know, I'm not saying that, you know, every parent now has got to beat their child, but you've got to instill that discipline in your child.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I mean? You can't turn around and be like, oh, well, I'm going to treat my child like how I would want to be treated. No. Remember, you are the adult. You know what I mean? You're the parent. Your parents and your child, you're not size.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You've got to set that boundary. You've got to set that authority for your child to then listen and be like, oh, hold on a minute, that's my elder. I need to respect them. You know what I mean?
I'm not saying you can't be friends, but you're not friends as in like you and them are size, as you say, you and them are bedrooms. No. You got to set that. You got to set that boundary, because obviously, as much as I want to play around with my mum when I was younger, when she just gave me that look, I said, okay, I know it's not time to play.
Yeah.
I know it's not that time to play, so I was just like, right, I want to stop right there because it wasn't worth it at all. So then, being a dad of 3, any more on the way?
Hell no. Listen, I'm 40 next year, man. I can't afford Karen anymore now. I'm done. Karen, if you're watching, I'm not anymore. We're done.
Serious?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean,
Never say never.
Nah. It's like if I was to have, if I had Eye on there, like, literally a couple of years after Kai.
Yeah.
And then obviously Kingsley a couple of years after that, then maybe.
Okay,
the next one.
yeah.
But at the minute, like I said, I'm 40 next year. You know what I mean? I'm getting old, man. I'm getting old. You know what I mean? And as my daughter keeps saying, I got grey hairs. So that's me. That's my body telling me that I'm done.
You're done.
Yeah.
Okay, so Kai has joined. This is my cousin's eldest son. So Kai, how is it having your dad as your dad?
Well, obviously, it's the best experience ever because, it's the best dad I could have asked for, you get me? But I think it was like a positive experience because he's taught me so much stuff and how to be a good man in general because of how he's raised me and the lessons he's instilled in me. And I think by me having him, it's allowed me to do the best in what I can overall because obviously he said he didn't do the best in school. So it's instilled lessons in me that allow me to do good in school like I have now.
So what makes you listen to that advice? Because some boys and their fathers they're like, oh no, dad, I can do it myself, or go down their own path. What makes you listen to that advice and carry it through?
Well, I think mostly it's because I know he's older than me, he's wiser than me, he's done this before, he's been in my shoes and he's got first-hand experience of this. So if I don't listen to him and what he has to say, then that just makes me a fool.
You're so wise beyond your years, man. People listen. So give me a favourite moment or one moment that stands out that you're proud of your dad.
Proud of my dad. I'll have to say at the wedding with him and my stepmom because I'd say at that moment I realised that my dad was everything that I wanted to be when I grew up. He was a man that had a loving family, had good work ethic, and had the ability to raise three kids and give them the best experiences in life. So I'd say that was the experience when I was most proud of my dad and my most fond memory of him, I'd say.
Oh. And cause Emile, give me another a proud moment you are with for Kai.
God, there's so many. I think what makes me the most proud of my eldest son is the fact of how well he's doing at school. It's like every parents' evening I've been to, I've had nothing but positive results. I mean, every single teacher has turned around and says that he's amazing kids to teach. You know what I mean? He's literally at the top of his class in every single lesson. You know what I mean? And what more can how much more prouder can I be? You know what I mean, hearing all that throughout the years. I mean, even from when he first started school to now. I mean, he's nearly at the end of his school journey.
Yeah.
And it's just been consistent all the way through. You know what I mean? He's always been at the top of his game, and as a dad, I couldn't be more proud of him.
Yeah.
Baby fathers out there, listen, just because obviously, your dad weren't around when he was little, don't mean to say that, you can't be a good father yourself. My dad was hardly ever there, and look upon me so.
Innit, and you brother, man, for
real.
real.
Exactly, me and Raf. You know what I mean?
And I said, I'm glad we've got good role models as obviously you, Raf, Ashley, that are, solid men. Do you know what I mean? Fatherhood, family guys, through and through. Just stand up guys. Everyone wants to be I I'm not going to say gangster like gangsters, but everyone wants to be like a hard man, like, oh, yeah, yeah. And it's like, you don't need to be like that to be a man. Do you know what I mean?
What kind of life is that? You know what I mean? It's like, oh,
because
yeah,
when does it stop?
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, all you're doing, you're basically setting yourself up for an early grave anyway. You know what I mean? You live by the gun, you're going to die by the gun.
Exactly. And as I said, I'm glad, like, you know, Kanye and obviously the other younger cousins that are males in the family can see the other side of how a good man is and how a good father is as well. And again, that's why I wanted you to come on to showcase and even to give you your props and your flowers as well. Like, we see you, do you know what I mean? And I want you to know that we see you and we appreciate you in the family. But I'm saying it on behalf of me, Kanye, and my mum. Do you know what I mean?
I appreciate that.
So thank you for coming on.
It's good.
And blessing my podcast for Father's Day special. I'm not giving these socials out because it's not like that and it's family, so stop being so nosy. But thanks, guys. Peace. See you in the next one.
I like to be educated, but I'm so frustrated. Hello to my loneliness.